Detectives are investigating the death of 31-year-old Lynn Gilderdale after they were called to a house in Stonegate, East Sussex, last Thursday.
The mother of a woman who died after a 17-year struggle against ME has been charged with trying to kill her. Lynn Gilderdale's...
So now it was not just a family matter. Police and courts are involved. Today, Kay is due in Crown Court. Will she face a full trial, and on what charge?
I'm anxious because even though you have an idea of what's supposed to happen today, I won't know till we're there and it happens. What I would like, obviously, is for them to drop the charge of attempted murder.
She has pleaded guilty to assisting Lynn's suicide, but will never accept the other charge, attempted murder. Her family know that could mean life in jail.
I'll never plead guilty to that charge, no matter what they offer me. They can put me in a cell, they can do anything they want. I had no right to force her to stay and suffer more.
Less than 2 hours later, the family emerge from court in shock. The Crown is pursuing the attempted murder charge. The trial date is set for January.
It will never change. But I know I did the right thing for Lynn. She's free and at peace, where she needed to be.
Kay's prosecution came as our lawmakers were trying to work out if it could ever be legal to help in a suicide. In the House of Lords, some suggested a relative who took a person abroad to die should not be arrested on their return.
Nobody, in my view correctly, has the stomach to prosecute in cases of compassionate assistance.
By going with this amendment, we turn the traffic lights from red to green on state-sanctioned assisted dying.
Baroness Campbell's impassioned plea won the day. She said it was too dangerous to relax the law. But then Debbie Purdy won a landmark appeal which reversed the argument. She wanted the assurance that if her husband helped her die, he would not be jailed. The Director of Public Prosecutions reacts by saying he'll bring out guidelines.
Because of the position that Mrs. Purdy's in particular, I'm going to issue an interim policy ready for the end of September.
But as Debbie Purdy's supporters celebrated, in Sussex, Kay was still left worrying she could be found guilty of attempting to murder her own child.
The last week has been very difficult. I feel I have to clear things in the house and get everything organised because I don't know what's going to happen. The other thing that I've been doing is she wanted me to have a sale for ME, so I've booked the village hall and I'm going to have the sale that she wanted to have.
Kay is well supported locally. The sale in Lynn's memory brings the village together. It is, at least, a distraction from the court case.
Lynn was a fantastic part of my life. I've given my newborn daughter Lynn's name just to keep that going. And it just seemed absolutely incredible that a mother who was so caring and loving and supportive could have had that charge thrown at her. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will, and I don't think many people do.
So Kay's friends are hoping the DPP's new guidelines will shed light on her case.
What we've tried to do in the policy is to distinguish between those who are vulnerable to the encouragement of others who may gain, on the one hand, and on the other hand, the family compassionate sort of arrangements that are made in many tragic cases where people fear they may be prosecuted.
Those words lift Kay's spirits. The guidelines suggest the help she gave Lynn was legal.
More and more details have come out, and he lists factors that indicate when somebody should be prosecuted and when they should not. They appear to me to be very clear and very helpful.
Not everyone agrees. Just before Christmas, I met Baroness Campbell, who'd argued so strongly in the House of Lords. The guidelines alarm her.
They're not just guidelines. They're the beginning of the process. Once you open the door a crack, you're beginning to sanction or say to a culture, yes, in some circumstances it is right to mercy kill disabled or terminally ill people. I would say to you, that's very dangerous.
But here you have a situation with a very ill daughter,
Yes.
and been ill for a long time, can't move, and she wants to die, and she enlists the help of her mum. The next thing that happened is she's in court. That doesn't feel right, does it?
If we don't send a strong message out that says killing someone, helping them to commit suicide is wrong and it's against the law, if we don't do that, the consequences are going to be far worse. And yes, if that means a day in court, and it will be tough, then that's the price we have to pay for keeping safe possibly hundreds of other people in similar circumstances. I hope Kay, the loving mother in court, will understand why she's there, and I hope we take care of her.
But she does not feel taken care of. With the guidelines out, Kay is still facing a trial. The charge is still attempted murder.
The situation that I'm in shows that that even with the interim guidelines, that people are still prosecuted.
She's going to Wales to see a man who used to be a prominent figure in public life.
We're on our way to go and see Chris Woodhead, who's got motor neuron disease, and it'll be very interesting to hear his feelings about what he's going to have to face in the future.
A poll carried out for this program found that where a person is terminally ill, around 3/4 of those questioned believe friends and relatives should be able to assist without fear of prosecution. Chris Woodhead believes the existing law should be left alone.
Hello, Kay. Forgive me not getting up. It's a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
But really nice to see you.
Chris knows that motor neuron disease will kill him. He simply wants control over when and the right to choose who will help if he can't do it himself.
There will come a time when I would prefer to end it. That, of course, raises a question of timing. If you leave it too late, then you are dependent upon your nearest and dearest, and there is still a great deal of uncertainty about where that leaves the person who has helped you. I think
The DPP intended his guidelines to make things clearer, but Chris Woodhead believes they've actually made matters worse.
on the one hand, he's saying that if somebody acts through good motives, that they're not seeking to benefit personally from the death, then that's okay. But of course, the person who is going to assist you may offer the assistance out of the best possible motives, their love for you, but they are likely to benefit from your death, and therefore, it seems to me, are still possibly going to end up in court, being prosecuted.
I just felt such relief when I saw it. I thought there's going to be hope for people who are in this position. But then as time went on, I thought, it's not enough.
You know, I'd rather live with the grey situation that we're in and rely upon the wisdom and experience of the individual doctor. I'm probably in a better position where we are than I would be if the great and the good have pontificated and Parliament has ruled and the so-called grey area has been clarified in a way that is more, you know, definite. I'm just not confident that we're ever going to get to that clarity.
But clarity is precisely what people like Debbie Purdy are calling for. Her landmark case led directly to the DPP reviewing the current guidelines. If Debbie's progressive MS becomes too much, she wants to be sure her husband, Omar, won't be prosecuted if she chooses to die abroad with his help.
I think the idea of saying, well, a fudge in the law, lack of clarity, let's not talk about it, let's not get it any clearer. It's lack of respect for the democratic process. This is the only law in the United Kingdom where carrying out an act is legal, but assisting in that act is illegal.
You're saying to somebody, we respect your right, you can take your life, but yet
You can't tell somebody else that they can assist you if you're not able to do it. So it doesn't make sense. The law doesn't make sense as it stands.
We're asking politicians to pass a law that gives a guideline to enable patients to make choices for themselves, and if they require help, to be able to ask for help.